CarolinaPrepper.com. If you're looking for quality food storage for hiking, fishing, hunting, basic survival needs, or just for everyday use, check out our food storage line at CarolinaPrepper.com. We also carry other fine quality products such as our can concealment holsters for men and women. Keeping your firearm under cover and within reach puts confidence in your hands in any situation. Our products are 100% American made. Check us out today at CarolinaPrepper.com.
And now.
Good morning, everybody. How are you? We are live. Good morning, Chicago Pops. Marlene Tillman, good to see you. Mary Ann, how are you? Roxanne, good to see you. Good morning, good morning. Hey, Robin. Hey, Hugh, good morning. Let me know if you guys can hear me over there on YouTube. Good morning. Fareed, good morning. It's your first day. Hey, Huey, good morning. Did you see the DM I sent you? I did, Tillman. Yes. Hey, Tammy. K4112, good to see you. Everybody, if you would please retweet this, that would be great. Great. All is well. Wonderful. Reclaiming my time at 11 o'clock. Absolutely. I'm reclaiming my time. I'll turn this a little bit so you can see it. Hey, Robert, good to see you. All right, while everybody's coming in and as you guys are retweeting this, please, I'm going to be starting out with Psalm 54. This is answered prayer for deliverance from adversaries. Save me, O God, by your name, and vindicate me by your strength. Hear my prayer, O God, give ear to the words of my mouth. For strangers have risen up against me, and oppressors have sought after my life. They have not set God before them. Behold, God is my helper. The Lord is with those who uphold my life. He will repay my enemies for their evil. Cut them off in your truth. I will freely sacrifice to you. I will praise your name, O Lord, for it is good. For he has delivered me out of all trouble, and my eyes has seen its desire upon my enemies. Psalm 54. Hey, Laura, good to see you. Kind of appropriate for the times that we find ourselves in right now with all the hate that continues to spread. Good to see everybody. Thank you, thank you. Hey, Carmen, good morning. Good to see you. So, as you probably have heard, North Korea is no longer saying that they are going to be attacking us. They've decided against it. After looking things over, they've decided that right now is not the time to attack America. Good morning, Lori. So, hallelujah. Yep, absolutely. And I guess Donald Trump, President Trump, probably knew what he was doing when he was tough talking. Hey, Dawn, Lauren, good to see you. Said your last name first. Kim must have, yeah. I think so, Laura. Wonder what changed his mind. Don't know. Tough talking. But he did have to say, and really don't talk tough to us anymore. Hey, Donna, good to see you. Should the Statue of Liberty come down? Yeah, it's exactly. Hey, from Canada, Dawn from Canada. Good. Dawn, we have some Canadians over there on YouTube. Hey, Josette, good to see you. And somebody from Trinidad. Hey, Bob, good to see you. Good morning. He ran out of clean underwear. Yeah, I know. But now's when he should watch our back. See, here's the thing. You know, we've been looking at all this other stuff, and I was going to talk to you about that later, but I think we should talk about it now. There's a connection between North Korea and Iran. And this is something that was brought up under the Obama administration after this Iran nuclear deal that nobody addressed during that time, and nobody has since addressed it. But when they're looking at these missiles that they're finding from North Korea, they're the same ones that Iran has, and vice versa. So North Korea is probably giving these missiles and nuclear tips and everything else that they have on them to Iran. So that's even more dangerous, as you know, because Iran hates us and they also hate Israel. So it's something that we should keep our eyes on. It came off like a toupee in a hurricane. Yeah. Yeah. Remember, everybody was kind of worried because he disappeared for like 2 weeks. And they were thinking, wow, the last time he disappeared like that, he did another missile test. So they were worried that perhaps he was going to be doing that and striking Guam. Because today is the day that, remember, that he said that he was going to strike Guam. Could they be working together? Yes, Josette. They are working together. Israel has their own nukes, and they need their own nukes to protect themselves. And because Iran, as I told you yesterday, Iran is starting to move in to Syria and setting up shop there, and Israel has said, we're not going to allow that. Stay vigilant, absolutely, and don't focus so much on everything that you see. Focus on what you aren't seeing, because that's where the problems are, and that's where oh, your notification was off. Oh no, Barbara. Hey, Shauna. I think Trump scared them off for now. I think so too, Robin. But you'll never hear that from the left. And Tillerson this morning came out and said basically that they're still open to talking with North Korea and negotiating with them. So we'll see what happens there. Good morning, crew. But that's good news, and everybody can rest a little. Sorry at work and can't watch. That's okay, Bob. Just glad that you checked in with us. Good to see you. Hope everything is well. I know I got a word from Danielle today that she's been ill, so please pray for Danielle. Last minute shopping and trip to see your mom. Okay, Shauna. Cool. Hey, Barbara, Lisa, good to see you. Spencer, good to see you. So, another CEO, Kim, lost face. It will be interesting to see how this unfolds. I know. He lost face, and again, somebody probably looked at, he met with his military, I think, and they said, hey, bud, we've got like a couple of missiles here, but unless we get it all right, it's not going to help us, and they're going to destroy us. So maybe somebody over there had some sense. Mattis said it was on if North Korea launches a missile at America. Yeah, of course, and they knew that. And that's why they said, oops, maybe we better not talk this way unless we can really put up or shut up, Now, another CEO has left the Trump's council, the business council. We heard that the CEO from Merck left. And then now Under Armour CEO stepped down because he said they don't want to engage in politics, that they're not about politics. They're about sports. They're about, T-shirts, whatever. And I'm about saying, Under Armour, you're kind of dead to me now. So no longer will I buy your T-shirts. No longer will I buy your products whatsoever. Yep. I'm trying to tell them with our sales that I don't support you. You don't support this president and what he's trying to do. You don't support being on a panel that helps to bring jobs to people, people that you claim to support. People who are uneducated, perhaps, unable to get jobs because they don't have the knowledge. You could have helped them. No, I do use Under Armour, but you can laugh at that if you'd like. I have several T-shirts from Under Armour, but thank you for the confidence there. True colors coming out for a lot of people. Robin said, I'm with you, right? POTUS is like a bull in a china shop, mashing up the norm and putting things in order. Absolutely. So I know there are a lot of people telling Under Armour online, oh, we're so happy that you did this, and thank you for doing this. So if you want to go and just go to at Under Armour, you can let them know your feelings. I have a backpack now that I notice the zippers suck. Yeah, Robert. Maybe you could tell Under Armour about it. Yeah, but it don't look like she's very active. Well, it don't look like you're a person. It has a dog picture, so I guess I'm speaking with the dog there. Anyway, China didn't like the fact that they had sanctions yesterday brought against them, looking into possible sanctions. That is, if if Trump administration finds that they've been doing anything like theft or appropriations of intel. So I know, Cully, rough, rough. Your picture isn't a dog. Well, what is it then? Because it looks just like a dog. Is that your picture? Do people just use breaking news for whatever reason? Evans, I already gave some breaking news. If you weren't here at the beginning, then you didn't hear the breaking news, but you can go back and replay. POTUS, see, good morning, everyone. Hello, Asher. I noticed there's like, wow, It's okay, Barbara. You're obviously blind. Well, you're obviously, you know what? Distraction that needs to go. Bye-bye. So, let's see. Also, in some breaking news, and I think this is boom, political beacon. Remember Charlie Gard, the little boy that in the UK? Thanks, Wayne. He rides a steel horse. I ride a real one. That's true. Charlie Gard's parents, they were donated. A lot of money was donated to them, about $1.3 million, something of that effect. And what they're going to do, I know a lot of people were saying, what are they going to do? Keep that money? As if, you can't wait and see. Maybe they're going to do the right thing. And they are doing the right thing. They're taking that. They're making a foundation in the name of Charlie Gard for other children who have his same disease. So there, there's what he's doing. That's what they're doing with the money that they got in donations for their child who is now deceased. Yep, they sounded like very good people. I had no doubt they would do the right thing. Yes, absolutely good people. Yeah, Chicago Pops. It's always good to see good people and always to have faith in some people, Sometimes it's very rare. I mean, I know that we're kind of taught with mainstream media that we're supposed to look at everything with a negative slant. But, not everything is negative. Hopefully another child isn't denied health care like he was. I know, Life Talk. That is great news, Robin said. Hey, Robin joined us over here on Periscope. Got several Robins. Good morning. Yeah, I think I think there are a lot of people that have that mitochondrial disease or disorder, whichever way you prefer to say it. And there are people that do, that survive and grow into adulthood. I don't know if he would have been able to or not. People need to realize that even if they did not once you donate, it is not your business. Exactly. If you're giving money, give your money and move on. Not to be negative, but it seems like it is getting harder to find good people. It's Chicago Pops. I know, hello from Malaysia. I know it does seem that way, but I think what we have to do is just remember that they really want you to look at the negative and dwell on the negative. I think there are a lot of good people out there that aren't out in the public eye doing a lot of great things that we never hear about. And those are the people that we need to find. Those are the people we need to talk to. I had a guy on my show last night. If you haven't listened to that show from last night, go to SusanKnowles.com. Look at the show from last night with Tim Foley. He talked all about what he's doing down there at the border. This is a guy who is down there at the border trying to keep the cartel, the MS-13, out of our country. And he and a whole lot of other volunteers are doing just that. The show was great. I had a great response. And I think you'll really like it. Give with a cheerful heart and let it go, Robin said. Absolutely. Yeah. So, go see that show if you haven't. I think you'll really like him. Yes, Marianne, just go out and come back in. Sometimes it does that on your end and freezes and, just come back in. If I'd given to Charlie Gard after all they've been through, I'd say make your life easier too. Exactly, Shauna. And it's just like, when we donate to the veterans in Arizona. Thank you, Barbara. The veterans in Arizona, I can't tell them what they can use the money for. That I don't give them money, but like if I give them a gift card, I can't tell them what they can do with that. But, for me, we gave them donations. You guys gave them donations. And you gave them blankets and socks and things like that. And so, what they do with it after they get it, that's their business. They need it. People use it. And it's not up to me to tell them how they should use it. I'm not in that organization and everything else. Is that HIPAA? HIPAA drone? All right, so some other breaking news. California finally got into the fray. They decided to file a lawsuit. Yeah, those parents, Charlie Gard's parents, they need a long vacation, like a long vacation away from the UK. Asher said, "You look like Jessica Rabbit today. Your hair is so pretty." Why, thank you. I do have bunny ears too. No, I'm just kidding. Um, So California filed a lawsuit against the DOJ. They don't like the fact that the federal government wants to take their money away because they're acting like a sanctuary city or sanctuary state. So now they're in the middle of it, and I hope they lose everything. I really do. I live in California. I would hate to see California lose money, but if that's the only way you're going to learn, then I guess it has to happen. And when they come looking for this, the taxpayers for money with their hands out, well, you know what? We can recall some people because we're tired of that. Hey, Jeff, good to see you. At least the people who are, conservatives and red. Another hater. Oh, yeah, I'm a hater because I don't like the fact that sanctuary cities are having people that come in and stay there like MS-13. That makes me a hater. Oh, thank you, Egg. Thank you for that remark. In 2008, North Carolina made vandalism a felony, raid the statue. Yeah, and let's talk about Charlottesville because, and I know many of you last night of Greek yogurt. I know, Nancy. I know. Get something other than an egg, you people who come in and want to insult. My gosh. I'm with you in the sanctuary city, Robert said. I know. He doesn't know you are a lover, not a hater. And Marianne, he doesn't care. He doesn't know me, and he doesn't care. And now he has to leave. So there you go. So anyway, last night, looking at Durham, North Carolina. Thank you, Dawn, for the super hearts. Looking at Durham, North Carolina, I want to say he's I know, another paid hater. Bye. Wayne's keeping score. That's 2 for the day. What we saw last night in Durham, North Carolina, with those people tearing down that statue was nothing more than witnessing a crime. And unfortunately, there are some millennials who absolutely agree with what happened. I don't think any of those people were arrested. In fact, I heard that there were police there, and when they were asked, "Why aren't you doing anything?" they said, "This is the sheriff's district. We can't do anything." But I spoke with a millennial that happened to see a comment that I made on Facebook, and about it, I said, "Look and see what happened at Durham tonight." And he said, "Good for them because they just tore down a Confederate statue." And I said, "No, what they did was that they committed a crime by destroying property." What's happening and what we're teaching our young people, not all of them, some of them, and other people, that if you feel that you have a good reason for committing a crime, then it's okay. And somebody has to show them that it's not okay. And that costs taxpayer money. It absolutely does. And that I think that statue was a soldier who fought in the Civil War. Very sad that they would destroy the statue of a common foot soldier. That's right, Spencer. And they don't care that it was a common foot soldier. It makes no difference to them. And in fact, probably many of them don't understand the history and don't really care to understand the history of what was going on. It was a statue in Durham, Durham, North Carolina. It's like the local police and sheriffs. I have to wait till it's slippery slope, which we'll see. And not only that, Mary, but what's coming next? Robin said it's like the local police and sheriffs in some areas are afraid to do their jobs and arrest them. And some of them are given probably stand-down orders, Robin, that they can't do their jobs. Let's take down the giant Stalin statue in Seattle, Nancy said. Why should the Confederate flags be held up anyways? Only flag should be up is the white one. No, the only flag that should be up is the American flag. And if you're in America, you're enjoying that freedom that it gives you. So, see what's going to happen next. If you give somebody an inch, and people who are haters, if you give them an inch, they're going to take a mile. It'll be the statutes, and next it'll be, I don't know, let's say Iwo Jima, the Vietnam War Veterans Memorial, other types of statutes. And then I wonder, let's see, let's go after the crosses that are on top of the churches. You're just going to go on and on and on, because what people don't like, yeah, book burning is next, yep. And the thing of it is, too, and I forget, I think Rush Limbaugh made this point, that if you take down history, if you don't show people what history is all about, then you don't need people like Martin Luther King Jr., right? You've erased his history as well. So as you're destroying other history, you're erasing the need for Martin Luther King Jr., and they don't realize that. What was he fighting if it wasn't racism and wanting equality? So if you're removing that history, then there's no point for him. Well, are you, Smokey, part of that, the people who are causing World War III? Is that what you're saying? If you or anyone in this group would go try to tear something down, we would be arrested. You bet, Robin. You bet. Trump will need to use a National Guard at some point, Joe said. I believe that, Joe, because the states are not enforcing the law. If you look at something like in Charlottesville, where the police, I don't know if they were given a stand-down order or what, they weren't doing their jobs. They should have been doing their jobs. Had they done their jobs, maybe that woman would still be alive. Maybe none of this would have happened. And I'm not blaming the police, because they take the orders from the top. But you can't have people committing crimes just because they don't like something. 100 years and suddenly they care. Exactly. I don't like signs that post prices. Things should be free. Exactly, Lori. They weren't doing their jobs. They weren't doing their jobs. That's the problem. People were not being arrested. There were people who were out in the middle of the street. You can't walk out in the middle of the street unless you have a permit to do so. And as far as I know, no one had a permit to be marching in the middle of the street. Just let them try to touch across. I know, Mary, but that's coming. You can teach your children and grandchildren about history from statutes. Exactly. And by some of these statutes, you can discuss history, and you can say what was wrong with it or what was right with it. Taking down statues won't change America's past. That's true. It won't. What about the satanic statues? Oh, well, Nancy, those are okay. Yeah, Antifa and Black Lives Matter didn't have permits. I know my local sheriff wouldn't put up with any of this. He's a very strong-willed man, Robin said. I've been around for a long time and have never seen as much hate for a president. Never. It will if they burn the books next. Yep. You want to teach kids about slavery? Kids are taught about slavery. I was taught about slavery in school. Trump is like Jon Snow of Game of Thrones. He is king of the North. So if my neighbor has a cross in his yard, I can be offended and tear it down. Same thinking. That's right, Barbara. AG has got to blow this investigation up. Yeah, what the AG needs to do is, again, some of these people, you should be allowed to let the states see what they're doing and see what they can do. There was no reason for the federal government at this point to step in. The states were doing their job. This was beyond statute. That was fabricated to blame the president, of course. But those people in North Carolina who did that yesterday, hey, Helen, hey, Julia, they should be arrested. Yep, next they will tear down our Christmas tree lights. Exactly. Today's children are being taught a more slanted left history. Exactly. Mother Mary's a statue in my home, and I don't care if you're offended. Marianne said, exactly. Are these years and nobody was butthurt over statue? Yeah. How come they were not offended by statues in 2016? Well, because it took a while for Obama to get to make that division happen, all that hate. Greg said, I blame Terry McAuliffe and the mayor of Charlottesville for it. Yep. Caroline is saying that they can't type in comments. I don't know why, because nobody's blocked in there, Caroline. So you may want to go to YouTube if you need to, and you can type in comments there. I have no idea. Just maybe go out and come back in. Maybe that's the problem. I don't know. but you're not blocked from making comments. Did they take my glass of Pinot away? I would come in here and carry your glass of wine, Pinot. Obama didn't do anything wrong. Of course not. Obama's a saint. And guess what, Smokey? He's going to gain sainthood really soon. He already has, I think. This is such a nerve with white people. I'm touched. Oh, selective outrage. No, see, hate is wrong no matter who you are spewing hate. And what gets me is no matter what the president does, you still hate him. He could come out and disavow everything, name every name, and it still wouldn't be enough for the left. Because the statute was taken down. It's called news. That's why I'm focusing on the statute. Exactly. White people have all colors in their families, just like black people, just like Asians, just like Hispanics. We're all different colors, and we all have different blood. But we all bleed the same. We're from the same God. So there you go. Go figure that. There are charts circulating now that show various meetings that are going to be taking place, meaning protests, different rallies. And that's coming up. I mean, if you look at that, a map of that, I think it was Jerry who forwarded that to me. If you look at it, you're going to see that all over the United States, these people are planning rally, protest after protest. Now, here's what I say. If you don't have a permit for a protest, then get out. Get arrested if you go to do that without a permit. You have to have a permit. It's called law and order. We have laws in this country. Hate is wrong. Meeting hate with hate is like watching the devil's battle. Lucifer came, same thing, exactly. Robin said, I'm so grateful my children are learning the true history of our country. That's one of the benefits of homeschooling. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, if you're going to peacefully gather and you have a permit to assemble and to do that. Oh, Smokey, I just said that. Thanks for listening. I'm glad you put it in all caps because you just repeated what I said. Law and order means nothing to these goons. No permit last night at the Trump Tower. Crazies on Periscope. Exactly. And see, if you're doing that and you don't have a permit, I don't care who you are, you should be arrested. Oh, good Lord. Okay, you're a racist. You got to go. Bye. That's number 3, Wayne. Media is so out of control these days. Yes. Hey, Trey. Good to see you. Thank you, Big Al. Your forefathers that committed crimes. Really? See, my forefathers, part of them were Native American. Are you a racist? Are you saying that Native Americans committed crimes? Is that what you're saying? Too many trolls. I know. They love to come in. They got nothing better to do. Now, there's a new Gallup poll out. You'll really like this. John McCain is more popular with Democrats than he is with Republicans. Is anybody surprised by that? I know, big surprise. Oh, my God. John McCain, popular with the Democrats? How did that work? Why allow a group with faces covered carrying clubs on the side? Exactly. And Shauna, in most cities and states, it is illegal to do that, to have your face covered in public. Hey, Cully. Well, here, let me help you feel some pain as you leave out the door there. I hope that didn't hurt too much. McCain needs to retire. John McCain has always been a traitor. Someone said, Wayne says, number 4. Yes, Big Al, but who's keeping count, right? All right, so there's other news that's really important here. And if you could go ahead and retweet this right now, I would really appreciate it. We can bring in more people, hopefully less trolls. Today also, guys, for everybody, this is the day that we tape God's views on political news. So you'll see that up later. And if you want to come to the taping of that, the video taping of that, just follow the links on SusanKnowles.com. Look for the article. Hey, Nick, good morning. Good to see you. Deanna, good to see you. Thank you for inviting your followers, everybody, and everybody on YouTube. If you would please retweet this, share it with everybody. Give me a thumbs up, whatever you can do. All right. Thanks, Barbara. Take care. So we'll see you tomorrow. Well, okay. Somebody's in love with your feet, Nancy, but this time it's legitimate because you have it there as a picture. All right, so Paul Manafort. Let's talk about Paul Manafort. He's saying now that there is concrete evidence that Russia collusion is fake. Because during the campaign, this guy named George Papadopoulos, who was an advisor to Trump, tried to schedule at least 6 meetings between the Trump campaign and Russia. And Manafort sent supposedly, all of this is, of course, alleging, but Manafort supposedly sent an email to somebody who sets up the meetings and said, we are not attending these meetings. Somebody needs to make sure Donald Trump does not do these trips. Hey, Jack, good to see you. So he's saying basically that we didn't go to these meetings, that it was attempted 6 times, and 6 times we said no. So if there was Russia collusion, why not go? Russia is a joke, Joe. It's been a joke since the very beginning. YouTube demonetized, yes, Diamond and Silk. Does that make YouTube fascist? Well, Hugh, they did it to mine on some too, so. I'm driving and listening today. Okay, cool. Is that Teresa? I think that was. It went by so fast I was looking someplace else. That's why they are starting the race war, junk. Yep. Collusion, delusion. We all knew it was fake, Josette said. And see, that's the problem. And they're just trying to keep you busy. They're trying to keep you distracted. And they're trying to create chaos because, as we talked about yesterday, oh, you meant racist, you said. That's how they divide us as a country. That's how the elites stay in control. And if you don't think this is about elites, if you don't think those people out on the streets are being used, they're being used. Trust me, they're being used. And there's so much hate out there on the streets. They have got to stop these demonstrations because they're not peaceful. When you have people that show up and start throwing things at each other, spraying each other, fighting, clubbing each other, whatever, it is not peaceful. And I'm sure you guys have read this. And I don't know if this is rumor or if this is true, but it was put out by Reddit, and I've seen it on others, and the media does encourage it, right? And the cops do nothing, but the cops take their orders from the top. If the cops are told to stand down, they can't do anything. Remember under Obama, they were told to stand down in Baltimore? Remember? Did you hear that Phil Mudd said about Deep State wanting to take Trump down? Yes, we kind of talked about that yesterday. I'm not a social justice warrior. No, I'm not. Ugh, so sick of hearing about Trump haters in Russia. Yeah. Hey, Monica, good to see you. Soros is paying these people. And there supposedly are ads on Craigslist asking for people to come there, asking for them to show up and being paid. Yes. If you listen to 5 minutes of this show, you will know I'm not a social justice warrior. I said hi to a feminist today. Court case starts tomorrow. Matt said. A single Jewish woman? No, I'm not Jewish and I'm not single. What's Trump up to? Hannity tweeted it out. Okay, so this is what Reddit is saying. Jason Kessler, that's the guy who organized the Unite the Right, was formerly involved, this is the allegations, formerly involved in Occupy movement and supported Obama. He only changed his views in November 2016 and started the Unity and Security for America in January. And so you can see, come on, this guy is not somebody who was a Trump supporter, not somebody who was on the cause of MAGA. This is not complicated. Enforce the law. Helen said. Helen, I know, really. Planned attack. Jamie said they do not teach about free black men or Native Americans owning slaves right to the Civil War or the Muslim slave trade for 1,400 years who castrated all slaves. No, Jamie, because it doesn't fit the narrative. That's why. Boston officials are refusing to allow permits for free speech rally. Good for Boston. Time to get away from Russia and back to fixing the country's problems. Disappointed in Congress, Chicago said. Yeah, and here's the thing. They're in Texas, the Texas GOP. No, Trump's not going to be impeached, but keep dreaming. The Texas GOP wants Mueller to come before Congress and answer to what is the cost of what he's doing. Okay, we don't allow racism in here. Wants to have Congress say, bring Mueller forward and say, how much is this costing us? How much is this Russia investigation costing us? And what is your scope of the Russian interference that you're supposed to be doing? Because this, at least the Texas GOP, think this has gotten out of control, and they'd be right. Go Texas GOP. You might want to support them. Hey, Gary, good to see you. They know ideas, no solutions. They're like empty barrels, attack, and divide, Josette said. If you want to know if Kessler is an implant by deep state, follow the money. Good morning, Gary. More white slaves were in northern Africa than blacks in America. Latin America owned 955 of black slaves, in not North America, Jamie said. And we talked about that the other day. We talked about how the elite does things. Hey, crazy clan, how are ya? I know, Big Al. I could do more, but I'm trying to concentrate. Maxine Waters is a horrible human being, Joe said. You're good. Great. Canada is the biggest threat to America. I don't know, you guys over there on YouTube who are Canadian, are you the biggest threat to America? It's now 6. Oh, wow. Didn't notice. It just goes so fast. You just never know. Let's see. The Daily Caller is also saying that the left-wing agitators are calling for escalated tactics in response to Charlottesville. And as I said before, there's now a chart showing where all of these people are going to be meeting and what they're going to be doing. 85% of all slaves brought to the New World came in through what was then Massachusetts slave ports, Spencer said. And Hughes said Trudeau is the biggest threat to America, not Canada. And I have to tell you, too, Sheriff Clark came out yesterday. I don't know if you saw him. I believe he was on Hannity with other people, other panelists. And he said that he was proud of Trump and his original statement. Thank you for posting that, Ron. And True Dope. Mary said, called him True Dope. Hugh, you'll like that. He said that his original statement was fine and that he didn't come out earlier and say, name names like white supremacists because he didn't have all the facts. See, unlike Obama, remember when he made the mistake of coming out and saying the police acted stupidly when it turns out the police were doing their jobs and they did it properly? But I guess if you just want to go and have a beer with Obama, everything was okay after that because that's kind of what happened. And we also know that Benghazi was about a film, stuff like that. So Trump did the right thing and waited. I don't know a white supremacist, no. Sheriff Clark is a good man. I meant 95% of Latin countries owned slaves. Mexico imported 300,000, but hid that fact. La Raza is a joke, Jamie said. Trump needs to build 2 walls, Gary said. I agree with that, Gary. You don't even know Ms. Waters. And do you know Ms. Waters? Have you been to her house? Have you talked to her personally? Tell us how you know her. David Duke is a Democrat. Yep. You saw a white supremacist on CNN. Who was that? And there's a video going around of a white supremacist who's dressed in the white, Nazi attire, who's saying that he supported Hillary Clinton during the campaign. Why didn't that come out? Why didn't we know that there was a white supremacist that was, hey Julie, that was supporting Hillary Clinton? That was kept from us. I don't know why they're letting those protesters do that, pull down statues. They're destroying law. They're destroying property. It's lawlessness. Yes, Trump disavowed Duke back in 2000, but nobody cares about that. And they played that on Hannity last night, with Trump saying, I'm against this guy. Trump, yeah. Hugh agrees with you, Gary. They do need to build 2 walls in America. So, yeah, you can see the reason they're not doing that. The reason they're not talking about what Trump said in 2000 is because it doesn't fit their agenda. It doesn't. Hey, Ruthie, good to see you. It doesn't fit their agenda at all. So they're going to keep telling you all of what they believe. And it's a Saul Alinsky playbook. Just keep putting garbage out there. Hopefully people will believe it. I have some bricks in the backyard. We can get started on that wall right away, Gary said. Only at most 15% of the African slaves came to North America. The far majority went to Latin America and the Caribbean. I did finally hear they are seeking to prosecute the people that destroyed the statue yesterday. Thank God. Bring back law and order. Next time, let the police do their jobs. Executive order to stop cop stand-downs and mandatory sentences. Are you saying political, that's what they should do, or they are doing it? They should do that. You're absolutely right. People should, mayors and governors should be held accountable if they order a stand-down. Who's allowing these people to do this property damage? The police and the sheriffs aren't acting to stop them. They're just giving Trump better position to fulfill campaign promises, Nancy said. Want to know about Islam? No, ISIS is doing exactly what he did. Yeah, Jamie, there's a lot about, I've had a lot of guests on my show. You can go to SusanKnowles.com and look at all the guests I've had on about Islam. There's tons of them. The liberals are allowing them. I think what it is mostly, again, that the police officers must be given stand-down orders or they'd be doing their job. Remember in the very beginning when Trump first got in and you saw people being taken out of the roads that were once allowed to sit on highways and block the highways? What happened to that? Why did that stop? He was restoring law and order. Keep moving to the left and keep losing seats. Love their plan. I know. Yeah, they have no idea. I don't know why that stopped. I know, Ruthie, it should be continuing. Okay, there we go with another racist out. There's 7. Worst, Mike Smith. Okay, need more constitutional libertarians. What we need is more lawfulness in the country. We need to bring back lawfulness. We've spent 8 years of lawlessness. They're buffer Dems. Republicans that are buffer Dems need to be voted out. The media loves to throw those white supremacists in our party. They are fools. George Soros is paying all the leftists to do all the damage they can. I believe that, Roger. We should have law and order. Maybe Trump haters in... that went so fast. Less government. Law and order solves a lot. Yes. Did you see the CBS this morning? I don't watch CBS. Examples on lawlessness. Roger. Catherine is waving at me. Catherine, I can't see you on Facebook Live, but Catherine just sent me a note that she's waving at me, so we miss her today on Periscope. I don't watch any MSM. I don't either, Laura. I really don't. Michelle Obama brags about being from South Side, but does nothing to help them. Nancy, I hate to tell people how they were fooled, but they don't want to hear that. And at the end, they knew they were fooled because Obama was like, okay, I'm leaving, bye-bye, and didn't help them. Jane Fonda said less than the Democrats are saying. Please speak English. We don't understand Russian or any other language. Lawfulness, slippery slope if it devolves to police state. Well, see, but that's why the police need to be allowed to do their jobs, the state police, so that we don't bring in federal police. Going to booby trap Florida statues? No, I wouldn't booby trap anything. Press 1 for English, Wayne said. 2018 elections will be interesting, Spencer said. Very true. Yeah, we never do anything that would make you on the side of lawlessness. Never commit crimes. Don't do it. And I know you know. My father was a radical Muslim, but in the end, he made it right with the Lord before he died, Josette said. That's great, Josette. Equal justice for all. Sheriff Joe should pay his debt to society. Yeah, Spencer was saying that over there. President Trump is looking at whether or not he should pardon Sheriff Joe Arpaio. So we'll see, what happens there. You're radical and awesome, Huey said. Pardon Joe, free Joe, somebody else was saying. I mean, basically what Joe says he did was work with the federal, work with ICE agents, and they didn't like it. And it's a political thing. So if that's the case, then, perhaps President Trump should look at pardoning him. The more they attack POTUS, the better he looks. Exactly. Josette, oh no, Jamie said, want to know the real Islam subscribe to Bill Warner. If these people were serious, they would be tearing down the statue of Baphomet. I don't even know what that is. They had tried to put up. Pardon Joe. He was only doing his job, Jamie said. Monica, Joe didn't do anything wrong, trying to expose Obama for who he really is. Gary said, Bill Warner rocks. Yeah, Obama will never be in jail. I guarantee you. They'll never go after him. Pardon Chelsea Manning, pardon a patriot like Joe. Was Chelsea Manning a patriot? Just obeying orders was not a viable excuse at Nuremberg. But if he didn't, I guess, Spencer, the difference is if he didn't break the law, if all he was actually doing was turning over illegal immigrants to ICE, is that breaking the law? But I don't know all of Joe's case. I'm just saying that's kind of the argument he's making. All Arpaio did was enforce the existing laws, Asher said. America, the whole world is watching you. Yay! Glad they are. And they should be. Trump this morning, President Trump tweeted out that Obama knew about Russia interference in 2014 and did nothing. Oh, it's Satan. Okay. Thank you, Don. I'd never heard that. Thank you. They're always watching us. Yeah, I know. Case should be kicked upstairs, and it probably will be, Spencer. But, you know, Joe's 85. Joe was lawless by not following the court orders. You mean like the Obama administration did on a few things? Heaven forbid anyone enforce existing laws. Exactly. The whole world can watch my backside, Azure said. I thought Joe worked within the law. He didn't do anything wrong from what I understand. Yeah, he just wasn't liked very much by the Obama administration, that's for sure. How would Trump know nothing was wrong? I don't understand that question. Hey, Robert, how are you? Good to see you. Now, Texas A&M, I think they made a pretty good decision here. Texas A&M had a White Lives Matter rally that was set to be held on its campus and for next month. And after consultation with law enforcement and considerable studies, they've decided to cancel that event. And I think that's good. I thank you for the flowers. Thank you, Robert. I really don't think there should be a White Lives Matter rally or Black Lives Matter rally. I would prefer an All Lives Matter rally. That would be great. But, you know, when you're just segregating yourself, I personally don't like that. Hey, Cloudberry, didn't see you come in. I hope they redouble the guard on the Statue of Liberty. American culture matters, Nancy said. Yeah, you know what, Greg? I just don't think that they're going to be able to take down the Statue of Liberty unless they blow it up. These racial-infused protests shouldn't be on college campuses. They shouldn't be anywhere, Ramon. They shouldn't be anywhere. Especially when Black Lives Matter really isn't about black lives. Exactly, Julie. Leftists find little thing and sue your pants off and pursue your right-wing political destruction. Police officers should stop killing black men. Really? Where do you live in a cave somewhere? I heard statute of limitations have expired on Hillary's emails, 5 years. They prolonged it on purpose, Huey said. Would not be surprised if McCain had something to do with Sheriff Joe. Send the Statue of Liberty back to France. They hate it more than we do. Why do you think the ACLU went to bat for Kessler? Because the ACLU, it doesn't matter whether you're leftist or right. If your constitutional rights are being violated, the ACLU will represent you and will speak out against it. Even though, you know, you'd think that they're just left wing, and they mostly are, they will do that, and they have done that in the past. Or fly an airplane. Yeah, that's true, Hugh. He would back down on the birth certificate, Monica said. If Black Lives Matter to them, then why aren't they there marching in front of Planned Parenthood? Robin asked. That's true. How many bodies do BLM step over just to get, one? Yeah. Breaking news, I know nothing, and I'm expressing my opinion. Well, oh, sweetheart, really? You can go in another group and make fun of people if you'd like. People need to stop breaking the law that gets them on the police radar. Yes. Police just need to do their jobs, whether you're exactly. It's called equal application of the law. That's what it should be. And people, they just need to do that. Thank you. 6 people were killed in Chicago over the weekend, and MSM said nothing. Yep. Not surprised. You don't want to call Rahm Emanuel out, do you? Breaking news had to leave, Big Al. Double block. It was one right after the other. Police are just trying to do their jobs for all life matter. Yep. Yeah, Colin Flaherty exposes black on white crime that fake news never shows. I've had Colin Flaherty on my show before, Jamie. Might like to go listen to that show. If you're ever in HB, please look you up. Oh, SoCal. So glad that you came in. I know. I think you did, Wayne, because I got 2 in a row there. You only got 1 there. Their lives meant no, let's see. I'm going to watch replay just to watch all the blockings. I wasn't sure of the number shot, but thanks for informing all of us. Colin is awesome. Shoot up a nightclub and hit almost 20. It barely makes the news. I know. Antonio, you missed a lot. Who's your people, Nancy? But killing doesn't happen in Chicago only. I know. Needs a riot blocker. Killings happen a lot. Your block finger sure is getting a workout. I know, and it's on the other hand, Just normalizing all the murder. Exactly. He doesn't follow. Yeah. Now, a professor at Arkansas, at the University of Arkansas. Oh, Calimita. Oh, is that with that other group? The ones that are so nice? A professor at the University of Arkansas was incorrectly identified as one of the marchers at the Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville. And they thought that they saw him there. And the mistake was detailed in a report by the Times. He runs a lab. They are so nice. I know, because I got a video that shows how nice that is. The mistake was the lab identified as a bearded man at the rally wearing a shirt and said that he is Arkansas Engineering. And basically what happened was after they saw that brought an onslaught of vulgar messages on social media, including posts that revealed his family's home address and called for him to lose his job. It isn't just one, Nancy, with a whole bunch of people that went right along with it. If it were just one, I would say I would agree with you. Also, that you should know, there's an anti-Trump protesters. There's a Los Angeles-based web hosting provider that claims the Department of Justice is requesting information about the visitors to their website because they organize protests against President Trump. DreamHost is the name of the company. They complain that if they comply with the Department of Justice's request, they will need to hand over roughly 1.3 million visitors' IP addresses to the government. Additionally, they'll have to provide contact information, email content, and photos of thousands of visitors to their to disruptj20.org, a website involved in organizing protests against Donald Trump on Inauguration Day. So they want that information. And, of course, the company is saying, we're not giving you that information. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, political paramour. That's exactly what I'm talking about. And so they'll have to go through the whole legal process. And, Apple does the same thing. Apple doesn't like to give over anything. But you can see that probably that's where a lot of those people, they get all the information about the comings and goings and everything else. And that's how they know about these events. That's how they connect up and everything else. I'm surprised they're just not doing it on Twitter. Did you hear me just say that? You have to listen. You follow people who don't like me, remember? Nope. I don't follow people that don't like you. I don't. make history digital and you can change it as you please. That's true. And that's why, I like to get a lot of things on Kindle, but, books are more important to have, I think. Nancy, I wasn't watching it that night, and I didn't see that, or I would have, and probably didn't know you at that time. So many fine and informed people here in this chat room. Thanks, Gary. Just have Susan Rice unmask them. She still has her clearance. Exactly. Yes, keep the books. Black man shoots 5 people in Texas. They said he was mentally ill. White guy runs down, counter protest, fails to mention mental illness. I think one thing that we, still with this guy, we still need to understand that nothing has been, we've convicted this guy already in the public eye. But what we need to do, he's been charged. We need to go through the entire legal process. You're getting different people who are saying different things. As I said, there were different witnesses at the time who said one thing and somebody says another, so we've got to go through that. Also, other people were saying he was running away from things being thrown at him. Others were saying things were being thrown at him because he was going so fast at the crowd. His mother, supposedly, and I don't know if this is true, there was something that came out and said there were instances of a couple of times where 911 was called on him, and that it was his mother making the calls. I have no idea if that's true or false. Something about the story is not right, Asher said. Yeah. So we need to allow the legal process to continue and find out what it was. No, I didn't, Nancy, because I probably got in late. If it was about your child, you better believe I would have stood up and said something. I didn't even know what it was about. And I don't even think at the time I knew you that well. This is why the streets need to be cleaned of non-permit marches. Absolutely, Lisa. And you can't have, you can't just assemble in a large crowd like that just because you want to. You need to have permits. I mean, you have a right to free speech, but also free speech does not include your ability to go out there, burn things, tear things down, hit people, spray mace at people, things of that nature. So some people need a permit. All people, if you're going to congregate like that, you need a permit. You're welcome, Julie. The guy took pictures with the racist protesters before he killed that lady. That's what I'm hearing. I don't know if it was, he was carrying a shield, somebody said, in the group of people. I don't know if it was him, to be honest with you. I saw that video, and since I don't really know exactly what all he looks like so much, I don't know if that was him or not. But, I'm sure that they will use that video against him, and they should. If he was participating in those things, that's not going to bode well for him. Yeah, I mean, anybody can wear anything. They have to connect the dots. That's right, Gisette. But black group went around like the KKK. Trump would have locked them up by now. No, because there was black people involved in that group. Antifa was involved in that group, as well as white supremacists, alt-right. Everybody was in that group. And they all should have been locked up. Everybody who was breaking the law, all of them should have been locked up. Why did the cops allow these people in with bat sticks, pepper spray? I don't know. I don't know if they were told to stand down or not. I have no idea. I'm against permits for protests, but a march, they should have a permit. Asher said. Asher, the thing of it is, there have been a lot of times where, even on social media, they say, oh, we're going to meet at such and such a place. Come on down. And you get, like, I don't know, 100, 200 people. They did that one time in San Diego. People came down to Balboa Park, and they destroyed stuff by walking on it, killing the fish in the pond. I mean, it's a disaster. If you have that many people together, there needs to be police there that just make sure that things like that don't get out of hand. Frozen bottles of water, really, that was allowed, Asher said. BLM was there shouting Black Lives Matter. There were so many people there that were not, they were just filled with hate. And those people should not have been allowed to do what they've done. Several Periscope at the time reported cops told to stand down, and there was before the car hit the crowd. Yeah, I did see. I did hear about Laura Ingraham getting a big promotion. I did, and I did at the time. I was watching different scopes, and I saw the police standing there. A lot of them with riot gear and shields, and they were doing nothing. So I have no idea what the scope, what the scoop was. Do you think martial law will be in effect? No, not right now. There's no reason for it. So anyway, we are out of time again. Thank you so much, guys. If you will, please retweet this. Everybody on YouTube, if you will share this, that would be great. Thanks for the discussion today. And we'll see you again tomorrow. And Giuliani needs a consultant on how to manage. Yeah, Giuliani knew how to do that. Sorry that you're irritated with today's scope. Have a blessed day, everyone. Stay safe. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for retweeting. Talk to you tomorrow. Take care. God bless. All right, YouTubers. Talk to you tomorrow. Take care. God